Pillen, Senators Dan Quick and Lauren Lippincott, thank you for stepping up, raising your hand, and representing 1.9 million Nebraskans. This room is filled with Grand Islanders that are ready to support you, ready to support your decisions, these hard ones that you'll be entered. We know that as we enter into the 2026 legislative session, there's going to be some really hard decisions and tough conversations as we face a potential significant Nebraska budget deficit. We ask that you go into that session knowing that the city of Grand Island has really rallied and grown in this last 10 years, and we rely on state funding programs such as Rural Projects Act, Nebraska Rural Housing Program, Nebraska Trust Fund, the Good Life District, LB 600. All of those programs have really created this crutch and this lifeline for Grand Island to grow and prosper. And we're not done yet. We've got a long ways to go. And so we ask that you go into that session looking for programs and funding and parameters and our community at the forefront of your minds, knowing that you have tough decisions to make, but opportunities to thrive too.
Start with the budget. First, the most important thing. From my seat, it's extraordinarily frustrating and how complicated people can make state government. It's really simple. It's not near as complicated as what people are trying to make it. So all of us in business, right? We have to make sure we have enough revenue, and we have to balance our budget every year to stay in business. We'd like to make a little bit of money. Well, in state government, it's fascinating how things get portrayed. So we start out with a budget. Our budget year started July 1st, okay? The first 4 months of this year ended, the numbers will come for November, and I think the revenues may be up a little bit more. But for the first 4 months, the fact is really simple. We had $9 million more than the forecasting board, okay? And we have $2 billion in the bank. We have $2 billion in our cash reserve and our general reserve fund. How much do we need? State statute says we need $300 million in our cash reserve fund. We have $2 billion between the two. And then that doesn't talk about the 600 cash funds we have in state government. We have 600 cash funds, and that totals right around $2.3 billion. So what gets confusing is we have a forecasting board. So we're 4 months in, and the forecasting board gets together and they make a forecast that the revenue is going to be off. Well, can anybody, so to keep communicating that, it becomes, so we're going to simplify it and make sure that we've got money in the bank. We have $2 billion in the bank. The forecasting board has said we're going to be down revenue. So far, that's not been the case. We've exceeded what the forecasting board been on par. The forecast says that it'll be like $400 million short because of less federal funding and so forth. Well, just so you know, we have 29 members of the cabinet that serve at the pleasure of the governor, okay? In the first 18 months, we have 25 of the 29 cabinet members new. We built a team of people that believe. They believe in running government like business. In business, what do we do every day? We work hard to improve our services, the quality of our services, the throughput of our services, and then it decreases costs. Systems approach of running business. We have cabinet members that believe. I believe this. If you believe you can't, you're 100% correct. We believe we can, and we are. So we'll have a $500 million decrease in spend. That's in just under a $6 billion budget. Nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever thought about it, much less doing it. Our cabinet is doing it. I've probably spent in the last 75 days, I don't know, 80 hours at least in meetings with cabinet members going through every detail. We call it, we have to work hard to learn our business. We have to learn our business. Cabinet members' jobs are not to go out and speak all over. Their job is to roll their damn sleeves up and work for the people in Nebraska and run our business run government like a business, and that's what we're doing. So we're going to decrease our costs of running state government $500 million. What's that mean? That means that $500 million over 4-year projections from the forecasting board goes 500 million, a billion, $1.5 billion, and $2 billion. So we're going to have money in the bank. We're going to keep shrinking government. We're going to keep improving services and get government on our hill. So I'm really, really excited about that. 4 words I keep life simple on: kids, taxes, agriculture, values. Kids, really, really important. Really, really proud of what, in partnership with these guys, what we did this past year. I was at Project Harmony yesterday with educators, what we did for kids. No phones belled up. What these dumb phones are doing to us. Question for all of us, right here. Have they affected how you live? Have they affected how we think? Have they affected what we do? It's embarrassing, right? Holy cow. So think about what impact it's having on our kids and developing minds. So the noise it's creating. So we've been able to protect our kids with social media, with the addictive forces of it. So we took big tech on. A year ago right now, that we were said, these bills, there's no way you get them through. The coolest thing of all, these guys, nobody listened to the stuff from big tech, and we all came together, almost unanimous, to pass and protect our kids. So those 4 bills were really, really a big deal. This year, there's a couple things that are really important. Are you all familiar with Christmas tree bills? So the first session, 23, there was gobs of filibustering, and then all of a sudden, a lot of bills got piled together. Christmas tree bills are bad news. I'm going to veto every one of them that comes forward from the unicameral because it's terrible policy.
We have access to health care in rural Nebraska is really important. You know, Grand Island, we have 2 hospitals here. We have some great opportunities for people to receive health care. But out in rural Nebraska, it becomes a different situation. And we have some of those smaller hospitals that maybe aren't being able to provide the services for people in their communities. And we got to make sure that somehow they can receive some type of care, whether that's through telehealth or whether that's through being able to come to Omaha or Grand Island or Lincoln or Kearney or someplace like that, they get some type of health care. So I'll talk a little bit about the next session coming up. I think the majority of our time is going to be spent on the budget and probably some revenue bills. I know the Speaker Arch had sent out a memo to us talking about only certain bills maybe will be heard this year, depending on how they came out of committee and issues like that. I think if there's any bills that probably have appropriations or any type of funding put on them, I'm not sure that those probably be heard. So we'll see how that goes. But I think the biggest thing is going to be the budget and where we make those cuts. I think I'm sure there's going to be cuts. I just want to make sure we're not cutting areas where we're losing services for people.